Here's another nice break. You can see the pair there and the pair here. I feel like we're getting closer. Are we alive? Hello, my lovely, fabulous friends. How are you? Woo! Oh, yeah. Are you fossilized? Is it time for a fabulous Friday fossil fest? Did you enjoy the video? What did you think of those? We found ammonites. That was so exciting. Are we 5x5? Somebody give me a 5x5 in the chat just so that I know that the mic is working. And meanwhile, I'll start saying hello to folks until you guys start like, we got oh, I got a 5x5. Excellent. Going 4x4 on the 5x5. Soul is here. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Saw you over there on the video. Thank you so much for coming. And same too with Ryan and Patricia. Thank you. You guys are finding the shoulder devil, are you? Did you like version 1 or version 2? I just want to know. And heck yeah, new emojis, Margaret. Off your rocka Manny. Great to see you. Thank you for coming. And ahoy to you there in the future. Always good to see what it looks like in the future. And Soul is digging the shoulder devil emoji. We needed this in the community. We do this for each other out of love and affection. And Scott is here. Good to see you. And Jennifer is loving on the shoulder devil as well. Excellent. And Margaret is voting for the evil Theo. Yeah. Oh, that's how it was born. That's where the story comes from, y'all, is that we all like to come and sit on each other's shoulders and be shoulder devils, but way back during the days, the inception of the podcast crew, Mr. Theo would like just straight push me off of the cliff on so many different endeavors, especially the fasting. And so we needed to make it official. And Jennifer also likes version number 2. Mr. Chubby Hubby is here. Thank you for coming. And I also see Allison. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the 5x5. I appreciate you having my back with the technology that sometimes kicks back, just like that good old fashioned uh, situation that we had in the street. And those dogs, they wanted at those cattle so bad. And what's really funny is Lily has tried before, and she decided that she wanted out of the paddock. She was kind of young at the time, but these guys are all bark. And I have seen little action as far as actual steering, having a driver's license for operating cattle. Yeah. And Mr. Chubby Hubby also weighing in on thank you that the technology is our friend today. Happy 4th of July, you guys. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out. I know that here you can see that the sun is still up. Some of you guys might have the sun down already, but it's a holiday for us and a happy one. I hope it's been so far for you, and that perhaps when the sun goes down, you get an eye full of some fireworks. And Jennifer saying, we found a bit of everything. It's so true. That spot, we had really no intention. We weren't really going rock hounding. I didn't bring my bag or a rock pick, and then I kept on forgetting the rock pick while I'm going up there. And a rock pick, a sledgehammer, um, eh, all those things would have been really, really great to have along. But what's nice about having not bashed all of the rocks is that now I get to prep some of the material. And some folks that I've shown some of the material to have a feeling that I could be onto some pretty neat stuff here. And so we're gonna take a look at that. That's what we've got for you for the show tonight. We're gonna hang out on this beautiful 4th of July. The sun is shining, and we've got some cool fossils to look at. We also have some of the rock too. We've got this guy. Remember this funny one from the beginning of the video that has that mica sheen to it and was foliated so nicely. And so this trip did turn out to be amazing. We've got Lisa's stone over here, the one that is this great piece of serpentinite with all of that beautiful quartz ribboning in there. And right there is that purple splotch. It's not happy in this lighting right here, but that is it. Should we cut this? I was thinking of actually having this sheared off for today, and then I stopped short and I was like, do I cut this? It's quite the big specimen, so it wouldn't miss a little bit. But what happens if I cut through that bit of the purple and it doesn't have more? Because I'd probably want to start on this side and see if there's more. What is kind of cool about this rock is that when I took a closer look, it's got mica in it, in like these wonderful inclusions. And so it's got these sparkles. Some of the serpentinite material feels like it's very gemmy, very crystally. So it kind of is leaning towards the serpentine, very beautiful. So I am kind of in the inclination to cut. And oh no, kid is saying that it's raining there. Oh man, do you remember being a kid and having it rain on the 4th of July? Like that's worse than raining on Halloween, or maybe at the very least right there in the middle. And I don't know if I got this way in version 2 on the shoulder devil. And Margaret was thanking the mods. Thank you, mods, so much for all of your wrench handling duties as far as sharing all the links and making sure that folks are getting the information that they need. I love it. Soul is saying, I bet their herding instincts were on overdrive. Yeah, did you hear us? No barks, no barks. Because here we were, it's kind of like when you're a parent in the grocery store and you don't want to have the kid that is having an absolute heyday in the store, being embarrassing, doing crazy things. And so here we are going past this cattle drive, and the dogs want to get in on it, and we're just trying to like, no barks, no barks. That's what we were chanting, so that they, wouldn't spook the cattle. We didn't want them being uh the catalyst for a stampede or something bad. And so, yeah, they had a little bit of practice when we were in Wyoming. And so we actually had one incident where they did get the cattle running a little, and that was bad. And so they learned and we learned. We're trying to be on it. And we've got the cut. And how surprising is that from these sources? And so we'll get some cutting going on this one. I think that might actually, especially if it's beautiful, it should provide some pretty neat slabs, and that would be a sharing stone. And so we'll definitely share uh, the spoils both visually, so that you can see it cut. It'll either show up in the part two of this video that we just released and we watched before we came here for the live. If you didn't see it, if you're tuning in late, or if you're tuning in sometime over the holiday weekend, we've got a video floating around out there that you want to watch, about our recent gallivant up the river and finding the fossils, the ammonite. But we'll have a part two because we've got some serious identification to do. I already have been hitting, we've got some white papers that I was able to find. And then there are some really valuable books that are helpful. We've got a library, and this is something that I really hope all of you guys out there that are doing your own research also, be it in geology, in the stratigraphy of your region, different exposures for different epochs of time. Your librarian might be able to help you. We have a resource here that is actually through OSU, where there's a research library. And so far, the librarian has been amazingly helpful for me researching yet another surprise fossil thing that I will be revealing when I find out its true identity. So mystery there. But on this version, we'll be going out and finding, I'll be employing this librarian to help me find out about these particular ammonites, because of course we can get the IDs going, and we have some more votes for cuts. Hack attack. I like that. We need a hack attack up in here. um and Muzz finger tape is off, so she can type for a while. Watch out. The tape is off. It's like taking the fingers out of the holster. Waiting for Ma to chime in. Right. And you guys know that Ma's always around. She is also typically a workin' and a lurkin'. And so sharing is sharing, and sharing is caring. Karen, really, indeed. And Rick is here. Good to see you. Stein Kearns, hey, we need to get this thing done. And so I've got a little something special. I got floaties and sinkies in my tsunami. You guys can probably see that little coconut water and some other delicious goodness in my stein. What's in your stein? I hope that you have a safe and wonderful holiday weekend. Lots of friends and family, and rocks. Lots and lots of rocks. Cheers. Whoa. This is the kind of drink I need to chew. All right. And then we're going to chew on some fossils. And so we've got thank you, as I chew my coconut, the lime in the coconut. We've got the link up for the video. Thank you so much, Ma. And Olimia as well. The smelly Shelly to you, Rick. And just scrolling on down to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And we've got Kirk again. That's my mug there. And I saw Nick Zentner actually. I'm spacing. Was it Sean who was on some of his latest video and had the Hoyer mugs? And so these are popular. These all the cool geology kids are drinking out of the Hoyer mugs. Cheers to you and happy 4th of July. And thank you so much again. Cheers and Steinkerns, everybody. And you know it, and drink it all up. So I want to start with the actually what I should really I'm drawn. Okay. Really quick, we had a change over on the Discord, and I was going to ask Ma to help me remember, and she did, but I think it was like more of a an ESP kind of thing. Let's bring this up on the stage, and I'm going to try to stop it before it. Oh my gosh, that actually worked. Okay. We'll bring this down. These are a couple of my latest creations. I'm actually wearing the ring right now. But the reason why I have these up here, these colors inspired by the river and the ocean, it's true. But also, we've got a contest going on over at the Discord, as well as a showcase for jewelry. It's brand new. So I definitely wanted to give some lip service here at the front of the show before I forget about it, because we're going to go down the fossil rabbit hole. But we are having not only a showcase where if you create jewelry from your rocks, any kind, and let your mind go with that, you're welcome to share them in the showcase. But we also had enough interest and enthusiasm in having an actual contest for jewelry makers that work with stones in the Discord, that we also have the jewelry contest as well. And I would like to thank right now Ma for being the grand poobah for that, like just overseeing the whole thing. And also Theo is going to help moderate that particular wing of our excitement. And so you know that there's going to be some really amazing and fun things going on over there in the jewelry aspect of our rock Discord. The Discord is for everybody. The Discord is for rocks and rock lovers, and sharing all the different kinds of rocks and rock play and rock hunts that you do all over the place. We also thought it would be fun to showcase some of the things that you make out of your rocks. And we have a new jewelry challenge, the showcase and the contest. And so thank you guys for the beautifuls and the all the wonderful things. And everybody is being very kind. Thank you so much. And yes, Rick is saying, I sent you Wayne Braves. Yes, those as well. And brownies and needing brain waves as well. And Lava Bison is here too. You guys are great. And yes, thank you. That is great that you picked up on that, Margaret. I was taking this picture and I was just waiting for my camera basically to decide to focus. And it was a misty morning here on the Oregon coast. You don't say. It's true. And sure enough, the aunt decided to come check out the ring and was bebopping around and kind of hung out underneath the fold of the leaf there. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love that. And so that's a piece of chrysocolla that I believe that Ken G actually sent me, and it is flanked by 3 white topaz. And then over there on the right, we've got a beautiful piece of chrysocolla that is from Nevada. Brian of 775 actually sent me that one, and he was unsure because another person had sent it to him, that he wasn't sure exactly what locale in Nevada this was from, but because I wanted more. I was so in love with this. And I believe that, was it Margaret that saw like a surfer on a wave on this? So on the other side, I actually did saw a wave into the back of the piece. It's got a couple of topaz, and then that apatite I got from Lisa Largent, and I did a rose cut on the top. So she sent me some facet rough of the blue apatite, and a lot of it is small but perfect size to just not facet both sides. And so a rose cut is when you leave it flat on the back and you cut the top. And I actually did that in a brand new diagram that Theo, the shoulder devil, did send to me. Let me see if I can scroll and find the shoulder devil, or we'll just let this go. Because, yeah, okay, here are your new emojis. You've got the bleeding finger, and we all know what that's about. I'm probably going to make the finger go sideways and the blood dripping off of the finger, though. This was the first incarnation of it. Just wanted to make sure that you guys have your emojis because I know you guys feel the bleeding finger. And then we also have the first incarnation of the shoulder devil. That was the first one, and actually you can see that one of my dogs from like Mystery Science Theater is sitting in front of me, and so we've got like some devil ears in front and behind, or on the shoulder. And then here is the larger version, if you missed it before, of the one that is up now for you guys to use. It's the Theo Kellison Shoulder Devil TM. And so you know that you've got like some pretty serious persuasion on your shoulder if you are using your Theo Kellison Shoulder Devil for your projects, which I'm sure I'm not the only one who uses the Theo Kellison Shoulder Devil on quite the regular occasion. And so that's the fun there. Again, if you want to take part in the jewelry showcase or the jewelry contest, it's for the month of July, and it's based on those colors. It's based on the greens and the aqua blues and blues of the variety of earth and water and sky that the summer brings. And so it was funny, my jewelry collection was already starting to completely embrace those colors with all the chrysocolla and turquoise and yummy fun that is happening here in the studio that you guys have been seeing come along. And I'm so excited that the Discord is embracing that theme as well for the jewelry showcase and the contest. So I know that Ma put the link into the chat for the Discord. If you are seeing it and you're not part of the Discord, you are invited. It is an invite-only Discord, but it's for our rock community. And so if you can see that, then come on in. It's a 48-hour link, and so use it and come play with us. And we'd love to see what you want to bring as far as not only those things, but of course we're incepting this jewelry thing for July. It's the firstliest time ever. So come be part of the very first time. And then of course we have the cab contest that is going on as well. And Theo won the last one. And so he's going to be the one responsible for picking the new theme, which we don't quite have yet. At least like the hour that I logged in for this, I don't think that we quite have that uh, chosen yet. We will make an announcement not only on the Discord, but we'll be making an announcement here next Friday. And so hopefully that will be an amazingly inspiring thing for you as well. And then the rest of the Discord, there's show and tell, there is the events and the pages that are for you to share your different kinds of lapidary, the again, jewelry making, wire wrapping, silversmithing, and tangents like fur babies and stuff like that. And so we're talking about not cutting ourselves in days. That's fantastic. And thank you so much for the kind words. And Karen's jewelry and Jahik's ring he made definitely inspired the color choice. And I'm happy for that, because you know that myself and Freeform Lapidary and Wisconsin Rock Stalker and some of the others that have been on the Discord a lot lately are completely high centered on turquoise and chrysocolla and the azurite malachite and malacola and all those fun things out there. And so think those rocks, and then go get your creative on and join us for that. Okay. And so, oh my gosh, we've got Mr. Turtle Montana in the house. It's so good to see you. It's been a minute. I don't know. You had a Discord. I'm gonna totally sign up and spam everyone with pictures of ugly rocks. Oh, would you? Would you please? We need more. We need more turtle over there. It's good to see you. And so now let's get on with the fun here. We've got this to add to the stage, and I did want to start off. Actually, let me maximize. I wonder if that's a guest or let's see. Oh yeah, okay. And so there it is, and there it isn't. So this is how big this is, because I know in the video it was kind of hard to get a scale for this. This is what started off the what in the world is up where we're going situation. I found this and I was like, I'm not trying to find fossils, but that's at the very least fossil wood, if not something even more interesting. And so I did want to bring you guys all in on the conversation, because you are all so knowledgeable that I was thinking perhaps, between all of us, let's see, that's the wrong orientation. There we go. Let's do it that way. And we'll bring this up like that and see even if we can do it that way. Excellent. Okay, so we've got some of the different fossils here on the table, and we were wanting to talk about this guy here. What, first of all, would you guess? Would you weigh in on that being more of a piece of fossil wood, or are we looking at a bone? We are talking about the Jurassic period. This is totally out of my wheelhouse. So yeah, it's a big one. And again, if I'm bringing my hand in here, that fossil that's showing is at the very least 5 inches. I did measure it during a conversation, and we can see that there's some through and through that's coming all the way to the other side of the rock. And so it's possible that this actually continues all the way to the edge and might have even continued farther, just dependent. I'm going to need to do some prepping. And so it looks like we've got Wisconsin Rock Stalker. I mean, your ears must have been burning because I was just talking about you. Thanks for coming on the show last week. That was an absolutely great time. And so, yeah, what What are you guys thinking? It looks like somebody else also might have come. Brenda, good to see you, Brenda. Thank you for coming. And I hope I said hi to Sonia. I know I said hi to you in the chat, but I want to make sure that everybody has gotten the hellos and all that good stuff. So, yeah, what would you think? Your ears are ringing. Yeah, it was we were just talking about the use of lots of chrysocolla and beautiful you know, the turquoise, the phosphates plus all of that copper wonderful gemmy mineralness that is the inspiration for our showcase. And actually, Wisconsin was the very first person to put into the jewelry showcase as well. And I've got a little echo going on there. I'm going to turn that down. And so, yeah, as I looked at this, the more I looked even underneath the microscope, the less I felt like it was any kind of wood that I was used to seeing. But then again, this has been compressed over time in a Jurassic exposure that I just have no eyes for. I've found all sorts of other kinds of wood, but probably nothing this old. And so we'll take a closer look underneath the microscope on this one and hopefully, come to some kind of a consensus. Meanwhile, though, you can see that there's a prominent bend in this fossil. So I'm going to call it a fossil because we know at least that much. It's organic, so it's either a wood or it's a bone. There's definitely cell structure to it, and it's nothing that I recognize from all of the stuff that I've ever peered at underneath the microscope. We've got a prominent bend. So I went online and I looked at some of the different examples of the marine reptiles that we would have had in this area for the Jurassic period. And when I'm saying those words, the ones that I'm talking about are ichthyosaurs and like the plesiosaurs and things like that. Again, totally out of my wheelhouse. I discussed this for a short while also with the shoulder devil, Theo, and he was talking about how really compressed the bones are of the reptiles. And I read even further, and that they are such because these marine reptiles may or may not have had any blubber, but they were responsible for their non-buoyancy in their bones. And then, being cold-blooded, they also had to regulate. And apparently this meant that they had very, very dense bones. Well, this definitely fits that part of the description. And so what part of the body would you reckon a curved bone comes from? Again, I was looking at some of the different material online, and I saw that some of the ichthyosaurs were huge, like three school buses long. And so if you can imagine that one of these sea creatures had a head that was at the very least 2 meters long, and that's like a huge head, that perhaps the eye socket could have been about this size. And then there's also the bones that lead to their flippers that seem to also have a bend to them. And if it was really the size of three school buses long, then this could even be like a bend on a rib or something like that. So I would love if you guys have any thoughts as far as that's concerned. It would be amazing to hear. And it looks like Wisconsin is talking about grinding some lapis right now. And so, still in the spirit of the fabulous summer blues like the sky, I've got some lapis on deck too, actually. That sounds wonderful. And Mr. Turtle Montana is updating us with, I'm trying to hurry and get the heck out of California. No way in heck I'm paying $6 for a gallon of gas. I hear you, man. You're like way on the our side of the country. That's fantastic. And Chrysical is so last hour, right? Okay, we got to stay on the tip of the wave here, and run alongside Wisconsin apparently. And oh my gosh, this is crazy. Manny is talking about paying $12 a gallon over in Australia. That kills. That's amazingly expensive. That would keep somebody from going from Turtle's neck of the woods all the way out to California, for goodness sakes. Uh, wow. And Turtle, you're crazy. And okay, we've got this shoulder bone connected to the fin bone. And actually, yeah, I was looking at exactly that part of the configuration. I think I might have some non copyright held illustrations that I could maybe show. I wonder how that goes. I never monetize these lives, and so I'd love to be able to show that. But pretty amazing to try to consider the scope of, if this is a bone, what part of the animal would we be looking at with such an incredibly prominent bend as we have here? Um, so if if anybody has, oh, and then we have the ear bone, which is, that would be just flat out amazing to find the what is that, the lith something. Oh, I love that. Otolith? I think it's otolith. Uh, um, and I don't know if the reptiles wear the same kind as like the fish or the mammals. You know, the ear bones of mammals are something that I never know what I'm finding. And we've got Resort Dog in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. And Mr. Turtle Montana is making their way down to Quartzsite. Very cool. That should be a good time. And Rick, thank you for these suggestions. We've got pelvic bones, cranium, part of the jaw, clavicle, and scapula. And so I was looking at some of the illustrations that are available. There are both some fairly good, decent pictures of skeletons, albeit a lot of those are either recreations or they have the compression of having been in the ground. And you can only imagine how difficult it would be to find a completely articulated ichthyosaur in the ground. And I'm not even high centered on it being that. I was just, riddle me this. If it was, like, what part of the creature might this be? And yet it did seem as though, like, cranium and that, the eye socket looked very similar on the fossil material that I was looking at. And yes, the otoliths are indeed in fish. There are some pretty big fish that come out of that area too. From what I understand from some of the white papers that were written a gazillion years ago, it seems like folks aren't really doing a whole lot of research that I could find more in the contemporary era. And so that is also a possibility. A lot of the fish material that we have out on the coast here is black and brown. whereas a lot of the mammal material that we have out here on the coast is more along the lines of a gray, like a gray blue, just dependent on how it's permineralized, but it looks different. You know, when you pick up a piece of fish bone, even really big ones, and the mammal bones. And so again, I'm completely stymied because this is not my wheelhouse. And so at any rate, we've got this guy that we are trying to figure out. You can see we've got the end cut there, and it's very interesting. And then we have kind of a splicing here, and you can see what kind of thing was going on. You know, it's sheared off, and so you can see kind of what was going on in the middle of that. And they just don't read like wood to me. And then we've got these little bits. And so, you know, could those be like little, you know, phalanges? These reptiles had like really, really interesting little phalanges at the end of um their fins. And what the idea is that they went back into the ocean, that they were land animals that had re-entered the ocean and evolved into that. So, you know, it's kind of crazy to be wondering what potential bone that might be. We've got some of the death plate material over here that you saw at the end of the video. We collected a fair amount of the death plate material. They're interesting to put underneath here's one of our little ammonites. So exciting. We'll get to you. But yeah, the death plate material is very interesting because of all of the different kinds of shells that you have in there. And I also found, I don't know how well this is coming across on YouTube. It probably looks like a fossilized, you know, somebody losing their dinner plate. But yeah, a death plate. And there were some fish scales. And I was talking to Theo about that. And he was talking about being able to find out the age of a specimen by the rings in the scale. And so we'll be looking at some scales. Hopefully I will be creating a microzone video so that we can just watch and pay attention and work on ID. And so that will be coming soon. I've been doing a lot of microscopy with these guys, and definitely want to share it with you guys, and hopefully do a group think and come to some conclusions as to what we've got going on here. And we've got from Brenda, too bad no DNA, then we know for sure, right? So, Brenda, it's interesting that you say that, because as I was doing some of the research on the ichthyosaurs, they found a specimen, and I can't remember where it was from, but I would imagine it was probably something Arctic, that they had the skin from. And they could actually gauge what the coloring on the ichthyosaur was from the pigmenting of the skin, and that it was pigmented the same as reptile skin in its configuration. Isn't that fascinating? So hopefully there will be some diagnostic things about the bones and or material that we found that will help us with the IDing. We'll be looking for the diagnostic stuff. And so here we have part of our ammonite. And you can see with this that you can tell that, here's the really recognizable part of the ammonite, and then it swirls around into some broken area. But then what I really like about this particular specimen is that you can see the squirrely lines, hopefully, if YouTube is being kind to us as far as compression goes, there after all of the shell part, and it cleaves away, you can see the suture craziness. And so it is for sure what it is, which made me like scream out loud. This one continues underneath the stone there. It looked like it was joined by another shell there. And then you can see this is where all of that activity for the suture stuff is going on. And then we've got all of this going on behind it. So what you saw in the video was me thinking that this was the other half of the other ammonite that I found. Oh, Rufotris is here. And we're going to clarify that in a moment. I'm going to catch up really quick on the chat because you guys have been buzzing along. And Amber also here. Good to see you. And let's see. Okay, that was probably about gas. Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, and rocks make everything better all the time. And you guys are hilarious. And let's see. Oh, Amber is almost entirely terrestrial animal and plant fossils. Right. Yeah, because it takes the animal to get encased in it. And since it's a plant sap, then it takes them being near that plant. And so looks like Kai is here. Good to see you, Nomad Wishing Stone. Thank you for coming. And Amber is here. Okay. I was like, we had both things going on there. Excellent. Okay, so here is our ammonite. And I'm going to pluck this other ammonite actually that was in the jaws of the vise so that we could look at it underneath the microscope. But let's do this first. So I'm going to get this guy under here. So here is our other ammonite. And for all intents and purposes, I even think that it looks like the other one, having almost the same size going on, which is a fairly large size, compared to my fingers. You can see that this is definitely like plum to peach size. So that's a big ammonite, bigger than any of the ones that I found when we were searching for ammonites the only other time that I ever have in Oregon. And so here, this was the situation when we broke the rock. And if I can do this on the screen without looking, this is going to be interesting. Wait for it. Wait for it. Let's see. It's hard to do something without looking. I'm looking at the camera instead. But what I found out, if you watch the video, I was like, okay, here's these two pieces, and we'll figure it out when we get back to the studio. And that was the shot, because I think I had like 40 seconds of memory left on my phone to do any more video taking. And so I just figured, okay, well, yeah, we'll just put the thing back together when we get back to the studio. And surely that's the two pieces of the ammonite. Well, no, this is the top of the stone. This is the way this ammonite looked. That's where the crack came. And when you take this away, You can see that's a completely different ammonite. That's not the other side of this ammonite. That's the negative side of that ammonite. This is a totally different guy. And upon closer inspection, we actually might have two different kinds of ammonite, but at the very least, we have two different sizes there. And so that was absolutely exciting beyond all excitement that I had too when I figured out that those pieces fit together that way. And now I'm kicking myself for not picking up every little bit of the rock that this came off of, because there was an ammonite death plate there. Dough. And so, boom. Yeah. It is a fit for sure, Rick. And it was a total wow moment, Sonia, in Wisconsin. Yes, boom. And so this is preppable. You can see it's very three-dimensional, which is also different than the other ammonites that I've ever found. That this has its nacre on the outside, which you got to see some of during the video. This is the one that was underneath the microscope in the video. So the nacre being the, shell material. There it is. And then this one shows off that the inside of the ammonite actually got filled with calcite. And there's the edge of it very clearly. And so when I go to prep this, you can see the edge there. When I go to prep this, it should come out that, part of it has been permineralized with the calcite, and it looks like it's a fairly big one. And so also in the video, I pointed out about the matrix material, looking at this particular kind of, mudstone, siltstone, ashstone that has these lovely streams of particulate running through it, and they always seem to be the ones that bore the good fossils. And so working our way back around, you can see that ammonite emerging. And so, but wait, there's more. Yeah, Steinkern. Yay! So cool. And so layered up, stuck in mud, crazy to think about. Yeah, they were layered. That was a death plate of ammonites. I could kick myself for not picking up every little bit. There's another reason why I should have picked up every little bit of this particular one as well. Um, who who wants to guess what that is? Right there. So I also was sharing this with Theo, and we were having a look at that, and we did get a little closer look on the video, but we're going to get another closer look right now. I'm going to put this back in the jaws of the ball vise, and we're going to have a look underneath the MICROZONE. But it's a fluted, or it's got striations, and you can see what the shape of the cross section is. You can see that there's cellular structure there, and it's patterned. And so at the very least, we have something organic. And the Theo's guess absolutely knocked me straight off of my chair. And so let's see. We've got a piece of a number 2 pencil. No, it's bigger than that. So here comes my finger. I measured it to be right around like a 10 millimeters. Yeah, a centimeter. Let's get this back out. What I think it was 20 centimeters by like 13 or something like that. So let's do this. Get this bad boy so that we can all guess with some sort of hedging. So from where we see it to the termination, yeah, like 19 millimeters, and it probably goes a little bit further, and then see at its fattest point we've got, yeah, 13ish. Okay, and so there's that information, and you think it looks like a shell? I don't know. It's not shoral because it's got cellular properties on the inside. And aren't the ribs on the septa or chambers diagnostic, Karen? Probably. Probably they would be. And so there we go. We got coral, shoral, coral, etc., and so forth. um, and I'm just catching up. Okay, so we have okay, a piece of one of those great big green pencils in first grade. Yes, right? And so boy, wouldn't we love that? Wouldn't we love that? We're gonna take a closer look, and then I wanna get your guys' ideas some more. And I'm not a fossil, just a little stiff. I knew she was in there, like somewhere listening. I knew you were in there. All right, Shorl, don't you worry. Uh, Nobody's calling you a fossil. Whoa, I'm gonna put this back in the vise, and let you guys look at all those other pretties. Meanwhile, this one was pretty exciting to me because this one is so well intact. This particular, you probably remember me calling this lower guy like a devil's toenail, the one next to my thumbnail actually, and then this other one, I can't, just a bivalve of some kind. And there's enough there that I'm pretty sure I've got an identification. And so that will be on part 2, is when we go through some of these guys and we actually are able to talk about what in the world the true identification is. Here's another one that has some of those, the designs of the shell death plate that you can see in the impressions. And then we have some more of, is it bone or is it wood? There. And of course, from the very beginning of the video, you saw that guy over there. All right. And so that is what we had going on for that. We can bring me back. Say bye-bye to you for right now. Everybody get hydrated because we're going down. We're going into the ozone next. So again, cheers to you for a wonderful July 4th weekend. Happy holidays and all to you. Coconut. Mm-hmm. All right. And oh, poor Mr. Turtle Montana has been on the road for a long time. So cheers, Sonia. Let us get into the microzone, shall we? Let's see. Got a very blurry image for you guys to start off with, but we'll get her up here anyway. Looks like something on the moon or something, right? We're over on Allison's channel and we're looking at moon rocks or meteorites. No, not really. Okay. So we are on a close-up of that matrix material for the ammonite, but I'm betting that, the ammonite is very exciting, you guys. I like in the sentiment of Theo, Stop not liking shells, guys. And so we see some of the shell nacre. It's pretty clear. You're probably seeing, the very slightest, very most beautiful little suture marks on this guy. There's just no doubt about what we are looking at with that. It's just going to be a matter of finding out who we're looking at. And so let's see if we can move us. Where am I? To some of the radial stuff that's a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, those are those little ripples at the edge, the outside edge of that shell. Now, this is actually though what I started to get a little high centered on. We are looking at this now at probably about 30x. And so you can see that there's, this is kind of on a high exposure, but I wanted to do that so that you guys could see the fibers of this thing. That this striation goes all the way down the length of this guy. And look at this wacky cell structure up here at the top. And we will get closer. There. It's almost like honeycomb. That's not like any wood that I'm familiar with. Very dense. And you can see some really interesting, oh good, you can see my cursor. Look at the patterning as it goes out that way. It's really, really unique. So it looks like, oh, John is in the house. Good to see you. And saying, May the 4th be with you. Indeed. Thank you so much for coming. It's always so good to see you. And so we are at right now looking at a mystery fossil that was in a concretion along with an ammonite from the Jurassic period. We're more than likely in the late Jurassic with this. So I'm enthralled with this kind of, this interesting motion of the structure here. And we're going to go closer to this material here, and then we'll move down and look at the darker structure, since we're looking at the cross section right now. Right meow. What are we looking at? Getting some more detail, getting closer. Okay, so Wisconsin is voting for a Jurassic aged whale. I don't know that we had any of those at that time, but that fits in with one of our potentially our marine reptiles, perhaps. Would that not be cool? And Bob is here. Good to see you, Bob. Happy 4th of July to you as well. We have prehistoric celery. Manny, isn't all celery prehistoric? Does anybody like eating celery? I always feel like I've just eaten something ancient, and like no matter how much chewing or how hard my mouth works to try to process it, it just doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. A gill plate. Wow. My gosh. Now that would be cool too. And it would stand to reason, since a lot of the bone that I'm used to seeing is fishy. And in this color combination, your blacks and your browns, and a lot of times the black is shiny like this. It's black patent. So here we are, we're edging up closer to about 40x because there is some amount of topography here. I'm going to scroll through the field of depth so that you guys can get a feeling for the edge on the left-hand side being more in view right now, and you can see how the stacking of this particular substance is very filament-like, and it's almost like it's corded into these. Now I'm moving the field of view a little bit more towards center, and it's like they're corded together in these almost honeycomb uh, bunches and flanked with the very, very dark, glassy, black patent cell lining, if you will. And we've got this is something where we actually diverge. Love dipping celery in ranch dressing. I think if I find celery in my Bloody Mary, I'm okay with it. Jeff Goldblum. Could this be Jeff Goldblum's fossil from Jurassic Park? Perhaps, like, actually Jeff Goldblum? I don't know. I can't recognize it without the glasses. His glasses on. If we could put those glasses on this fossil, it might be him. And peanut butter. Gosh, and that reminds me of straight up kindergarten. The what is it, ants on a log, the peanut butter and raisins. And Chubby Hubby likes celery. Aw, celery and peanut butter. We have some celery lovers. Steve loves celery. I've never embraced my inner celery lover, apparently. And crunchy peanut butter. That sounds like if there was enough crunchy peanut butter on it, I could probably just use it as a vehicle for eating the crunchy peanut butter. I hear you there. That might work out. Let's see. Cream cheese. Okay. I am the Lorax and I speak for the stocks. Celery. We have like celery lovers anonymous here. Okay, here's where the cream cheese came from. Okay, with your celery. Oh, you guys can have it. You can have it. Is it a horn? It could be any of these things, folks. I need to do some more research. Although, again, I have a picture, and I'm kind of worrying about like how much I could show you guys on a video. This is, considered a YouTube video, even though it's a live stream, even though it's not monetized. I do have a picture of some teeth that fit both in size and in look. And so we have this from Soul. Celery is over 90% water. If you're feeling thirsty, take a bite. Oh my gosh. And that was a PSA brought to you by the Celery Lovers Anonymous. Thank you. You have the palate of the child. That's not a bad thing. I wanted, mint chocolate pudding earlier, so it's all good, guys. Okay, so let's move ourselves down this. Yes, ants on a log. I'll eat ants on a log just because it's nostalgic. Not that ant that was underneath the ring. So we're moving from the cross section, which is that, brown area that looked like it had the honeycomb hideout in it. And we're going to move on down to the area in which it is more black and the outside of whatever structure this is. And you can see that it is also finely detailed as well. And I think we've got some more room. We can actually get a little bit closer. So we're seeing like those filaments, if I can stop moving it. And those are clustered once again, just like the center of this thing, towards the outside, also clustered to the point where we see these rows up and down becoming the texture on the outside. And now everybody's craving peanut butter and whatnot. You guys get your snacks on for sure. Um, let's see. And what about a fin where it connects to the body? That's a possibility too. Fin, like the end. Fin? Who knows? This is a very small thing, this particular thing here. And Brenda is saying, looks to me a hunk of skin with a fin. Interesting. And Ma just ate coffee ice cream, so she's good. Man, I want mint chocolate chip so bad, you guys. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Oh my goodness me. Mr. Turtle Montana. Oh, thank you so much. Pink Himalayan salt is estimated to be over 250 million years old and was formed during the Jurassic era. So, why the hell does my grinder have an expiration date, right? Ring! Wow, that is really, really awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Mr. Turtle. I hope that you have enough left over for some gas money. We really appreciate it over here. We are burning the midnight oil on trying to figure out what these guys are. And like I said, we'll have an ID video for you as soon as we can figure it out. I'm going to enlist the help of the folks over at the OSU library, and hopefully we can get this figured out. And so, one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting about this is that the hardest, glassiest stuff is around the outside. And I'll pan back out for you. So somebody had mentioned it before that teeth are very diagnostic. And so if we are looking at a tooth, then we're going to get a lot of help, pardon me, with some of the other stuff that we've got going on here. And so I just wanted to give you guys another really good look at this. And I am like, I have my fingers and toes crossed, but this is not scientific. If you are trying to prove that something is something, you're supposed to have nothing in your mind and then prove what it is without having any bias, right? But in that being all said, it would be amazing if this thing was a tooth and it fits all of the potential oh, going the wrong way there. Oh, and that's going to be too far for us since we have so much terrain. So I'll just leave us with this close up here. Yeah. If this ended up to be the tooth of one of our marine reptiles, then we'd be getting ever closer to kind of figuring out some of the other materials, because the bone honestly doesn't look that much different than what we've got going on here. We have maybe a stingray barb. That would be super cool, Cynthia. We're talking about late Jurassic. So imagine your animals and your marine creatures from the late Jurassic, on account that this area is riddled with the shell, the death plates. That is what the exposure is prominent for. That we've got some ancient sea, and so yeah, we got tentacle or arm suckers. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be cool? I don't know how well suckers have the tendency to fossilize, if they do very well. And so we're going to get out of this here for a second. And so I think that it would be fun to see just the suture craziness on the other side of the ammonite, because honestly, that's what I'm supposed to be the most excited about. Is I don't know why there's a supposed to be, but I thought I would be the most excited about the fact that we've got ammonite, that we found it, that I found out through research after going to this site the first time, that there was a chance. And so starting to do more and more and more research kind of just honed in. And so boy, that was the pay dirt. And yet I've never found marine reptile bones before. So I'm a little excited about the potential for that as well. And let's see, we've got still talking about those gas prices. I would agree. We've got some pretty inexpensive ones going on right now. I'm over there in Ma's price range, and oh, you guys are hilarious. And yeah, the bang bang noises are starting to go off in some of the areas that you all are in. So take a moment to make sure that you know where your pets are and that they're doing okay, on account that some of the dogs and cats do not like the bang bang pow pows that are going on outside. All right. And so here we are back on the the microscope. We are on the other ammonite. So this is like a whole different ammonite. Oh, but I think I have it actually on the wrong side. So let's turn it over. Sorry about that, guys. There it is. And we are going to go over here. We're traveling from one end where it's spiraling around. You can even see the small spirals. I'm going to put them right in the center. Look at that. Like it would have ambled around. There's, parts of it that are broken off, but you can see the ribs of the inner circle there. How awesome. This is going to take some prepping, and Karen's going to get like her prepping tools together so that I can get this done, cuz we all need to see what that wants to look like on the prepped end. Okay, so here we are getting to the sheared off area. I love this so much. Look at this craziness. Look at how wild that is. Can you see all those little lines? It is so nuts what these sutures are doing. There we go. What even is that all about? What was going on here? So you want to see it a little bit closer? This is like some kind of crazy graffiti. Look at this. These details are amazing. These are just here. And if you can recall, like this is from a break. And so what was going on here? This is happening on the inside of the ammonite. And let's see. We've got the booms have just started over at Kid Curry's, and Amber's neighborhood has gone nuts with the booms. Oh dear. CBD treats for the animals is Mr. Chubby Hubby's answer. Yeah, I like the animals just don't like it. And Margaret is talking about how the cats get pretty stressed. And yeah, I hope that you're able to wrangle them all together, Ma. And if you need any dogs that will wrangle things, my dogs might be available, unless they are also under the house. that is possibility. Lily, absolutely. Like she will find some place to hide, and I have to look very hard in which to find her. And so we'll keep on moving along with this. I wanted to treat you guys when I saw this, all of this intricate, beautiful design that was the interior of this ammonite from the Jurassic epic. Look at that. And we're seeing also not just now we're not into nacre, we're into the calcification, that calcite that happened. And yes, your youngest kitty is locked in the house until Sunday. She isn't happy. I get it, but I mean, definitely the way to go. Yes, this is so gorgeous. And that's good that you've got a short leash, and give your animals some love, and maybe a special, round of treats. They have a hard time during this holiday, that's for sure. Now Jeff Goldblum is trying to hieroglyph us with something, obviously without his glasses, right? Well done. That's hilarious. Yeah, I hope everybody's animals are going to be okay. And so yeah, we're just moving through the calcite field of all these neat designs that were created, I'm assuming, by the sutures doing the things that they do best. So I just wanted to take you through that beautiful field. And if it's calcite, it would most certainly glow in the UV. And I might be caught without. I've got my gemfish, brought to you by Mr. Chubby Hubby, but I'm feeling around and I don't think I have my black light, my UV light available. That, I promise you, will be part of the identification video and part 2, because I think that this would be off the Richter cool. Like all of these different squiggly pathways and designs would just glow in the most insane way. So thank you for making that suggestion, and we'll definitely hit it next time. Did I get as close as we could go? I didn't. Shall we go a little closer, guys? A treat for another time. Indeed. Indeed. Sorry, guys. Oh, wrong way. Here we go. Yeah, it's just so crazy. Oh no. It did slip. It did slip. Oh dear. Sorry, guys. Where are we? Let's move back into the calcite field. And since we are a little bit closer, we're seeing a little bit more detail in those designs. And I don't know if they get any better going out this way, but we can go back to those originals and look at them as close as we can. Yeah, I think we've seen that squiggle before. Oh my gosh. But oh, there's actually some really nice ones up here too. So there you have it. The crazy interior of an ammonite that swam the mountain oceans of Oregon in the late Jurassic period. How fascinating. Let's see. Oh wow, we were way out. Can get closer and closer and closer to those wild squiggles. And it's like they're a fractal kind of situation. The closer you get, the more detailed they are. Hopefully, I'm not moving around too fast for you guys to be able to see. I mean, it looks like a painting to me. It looks other, way other dimensional. Like I would not guess had you shown me these pictures, even this pan through, that I'm looking at a fossil. That wouldn't have been my guess. Just amazing. Thank you for coming, John. Happy 4th of July. And did I say Mr. Chubby Hubby instead of Turtle? I'm sorry. Yeah, I like we've done some pretty interesting amalgams of uh like there's been like the blind turtle rocks, like when I was trying to think of blind squirrel, and yeah, all sorts of accidentals. Yeah, definitely. I see words from an alien. So interesting that, yeah, these fossils do communicate with us this way. It is completely otherworldly. Incredible. So, you know, our light is starting to go down as well. That sun, that big orb out there, and that's going to mean that this beach is going to erupt into a bunch of bangs, and it will end with dogs underneath beds and who knows where. And so, what I think we'll do is I would love to thank all of you guys for coming to the premiere of the video and sharing this rock experience with me, fossil experience that it turned into. And so what I'm going to do is I do have the credits on board. We will take a look at one of the like maybe bones. Actually, that's going to be too high. Um, and I'll put on some music for you guys to watch the fossil with. And then what we can do is I'll do a quick Steinkern, and we can roll the credits. But if you haven't seen the video, it's fresh. It just dropped right before this live stream, and so it would be great if you want to go check it out. You've seen some of the rocks now that we found in real time on the video. If you have a chance to leave a comment or share it with somebody, hit the thumbs up button, all those things that helps YouTube to spread it to more people, and more people can get excited about some of the stuff that we get excited about. And I would really appreciate it if you guys did that. We're going to have one fun holiday weekend over on the Discord, playing with our new jewelry contest and the jewelry showcase, where it's not the contest side where you can share all your creations that have the summer colors of blues and greens and the pretties there. And you guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. I was asked if we were going to do a live stream on the holiday, and well, of course, I'm not missing my time with you guys. I love hanging out. It's always such a blast. I couldn't wait to share these fossils with you. And so, that all being said, we're going to go ahead and pop some music on. We'll put the microscope on what could be either bone or wood. I'll leave it up to you. Think of this horn, stingray, barb, tooth, bone, whatever that thing was next to the ammonite, and then you can judge it against this little guy, and we'll figure out what it is, hopefully at some point. And so let's get this going. We'll turn this up. Music. And let's add this to the stage. Here we go. And like I said, we'll go ahead and cruise around on this for a little while. And then I'll bid you adieu and we'll go into the credits. Here you go. All right. Thank you guys. We'll be doing a long play of that, a big, big, long fossil microscopy session. And I'll probably pop that up on the members side. And then we'll have an ID video to follow up the part one when we start figuring out what these bones and shells are. We'll have their names. And until then, all of your names matter so much. Love you so much for hanging out this evening on the 4th of July. Happy holidays to you. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Turtle Montana, for all that you do. And thank you, Ma, and all the rest of the moderators for sharing the links out for everything this evening. Have a safe holiday. I'll see you around all of the live streams and fun that are happening this weekend. Hopefully, there are some. Everybody who's out traveling, travel well and safe. And we will see you around. Cheers to you and happy Fossil Friday. Alive, everybody. Are you here? Am I here? And we can't hear me. Let's start over again. Are you here? Am I here? And we can't hear me. Let's start over again.